Arcades or fish games exist in a kind of legal gray area, and it's really been a problem for police. According to North Carolina law, it is illegal to operate a game or bet on any game of chance that involves winning money, property, or anything of value. These arcades remain operational because the businesses argue the games are based on skill, not luck. The CMPD tells our partners at Axio Charlotte it's aware of about 60 skill games businesses in the community. Others, they say, operate underground, including in gas stations, small businesses, and unknown locations. And detectives say they're a hotbed of criminal activity. We've shown you the videos of all the robberies we've seen. Criminals know there's a decent amount of cash to be had in some of these places. Over the years, we've also shown you video after video of arcades being raided, most recently in Matthews. The Ocean King Arcade on East Independence Boulevard was searched back in September. Officers say they confiscated gaming software and hard drives from 75 arcade machines. They say they also found 4 guns and money. Now, back to Charlotte. Just look here at some of the numbers going back really only a couple of years. See them here. According to the data from CMPD, since 2022, at the addresses of arcades, police reports show that they have seen 2 homicides, they've seen 1 rape, 65 robberies, and 30 aggravated assaults. So all of this has the attention of City Council. Some members are looking for a way to crack down on these arcades. Alex Sands at Axio Charlotte has been working the story, and I asked her if there's anything being done on the state level to clarify the law.
So it seems like in the past few years, there's been a few bills floated around to possibly try to regulate these, because if they're already technically illegal and they're still open, well, maybe we should try to regulate them. So that's been the idea. You could try to get some revenue from them. There was the idea floated around that they could use revenue to get back to law enforcement so they could try to fund their efforts to crack down harder on these operations. But so far, nothing has made it all the way through.
Obviously, this has attention of City Council as well. Is there something on the local level that can be done?
Yeah, this was a quick discussion in a City Council committee this week or last week. And it seems like when they have these small discussions in committee, sometimes the staff will go research this and then they come back. Sometimes it comes up to the full council later on. So I'm expecting them to revisit it again soon. And it seems like CMPD probably has some interest in doing whatever they can to try to crack down on this. But it could be more zoning laws. I think there are already a good amount of zoning laws in place, so I don't know how much more effective those would be. Probably the best thing they could do is to include this on their legislative agenda, which is basically like their wish list to the General Assembly. And that will just show state lawmakers that this is something that Charlotte wants. This is something that they want them to prioritize, and it could create some momentum to get some regulations passed.
And I think you found too that one of the concerns, certainly with some City Council members, is the location, right, of these arcades. Explain that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, you can see it with your own eyes when you're driving around, but these are usually put in places that are low-income areas, and that's concerning to City Council because they've poured millions of dollars into the Quarters Opportunity Program, so places like West Boulevard. And when we have these businesses popping up that they say are preying on vulnerable populations, that's kind of hindering efforts to try to improve these areas and make them better. And it's upsetting for the families too, the people who are going to these venues and they're getting sucked into these games. They're losing their rent money, they're losing the grocery money, and that's not good for the entire community.
Yeah, you touched on it a little bit, but just next steps in all this then are what?
Yeah, I'm sure we'll see CMTD probably give council some data at some point, and then there will probably be discussion about putting this on legislative agenda. I don't know how much more they could do beyond that locally, but we'll see what ideas staff comes forward with.
Alexandria Sands, you can read more of her work on the Axio Charlotte website. Coming up next here.